come running or flipping when you ring Domino's new dinner bell.
What's going on, guys? We are back at it with some crew action going on over here because I did some solo play here earlier. Did you make it, Sasquatch? Did you make it?
Are you?
It still says it's synchronizing, so I'm hoping that it's going to pop you in. When the synchronization stays up for that long, it usually means that's what's doing. It's working. Because yep, you here?
Yep.
Alrighty.
What are you guys doing?
I was finishing up plowing on field 11. I thought it was going to need plowing too, since field 7, since all the other stuff needed plowing. Um, Field 8 we leave alone. That's Necro's field over there. He's working on the sugar beets and all kinds of stuff over in 8, so we don't have to worry about any of the stuff that's over there around 8. That's all his setup over there. I already plowed field 4. I've already plowed field 7. I'm finishing field 11. And yeah, you can jump on if that's what you want to do. You're more than welcome to. I'm just gonna maybe in the it's in the big hall. In the big hall. I'm gonna do logging. Got everything all set up for logging over there. I moved it all out to the woods where the logging stuff needs to be. Oh, the door's already open for you. Let me move this truck out the way for you. Let me come over here and help you out. Come over here and help you out. Golly, them lights are bright. I think I should be out of the way enough. Where's everything out of the way? Awesome. I had to go. We reached 60 subs. Well, 61 really. I got 61 whenever we was doing the thank you in the middle of the other one. So we reached 60 subs. I was doing a little solo plowing. That was it. I'm gonna hop back over there and do some more plowing and get that all knocked out of the way. Yeah, we got a pretty good little logging setup over there, as you saw. So we will be venturing off into doing some logging over there for sure. Up this and then gonna do some planting. I don't know what I'm gonna plant just yet. Yeah, he don't get off excuse me, just during the weekdays. But that's what they'll be, because I'm gonna be gone this weekend. And so he will be running that map over there his way on seasons this weekend for sure. And then anytime I'm gone and he's around, which that's why I've been kicking off the stream or the opening up even new battle shagging late, because that's when everybody gets off. Around 5, 6, which he gets off at midnight and all that. And so if I start playing really early, I get tired before he gets off, and so I miss out on whatever. But I just now got South Mountain Creamery's map back. And so on that right side of that little road when you pull in there, well, the textures of the grass didn't look real to begin with, and then we plowed up that side and planted grass to see if it might come up, you know, different than what it did, and that's what we got. So it looks faker than the grass that was already here. And so, but I mean, it still yields pretty good. Like I said, it still shows that it's grown and, you know, full grown, all kinds of stuff like that. But I mean, you're sitting there looking at it, you know what I mean? It kind of looks sketchy, you know what I mean? Like you would think. But I think it's just the way the grass textures are done on this map. Have you ever tried, I believe it's called Goral? G-O, yeah, that, it's got 102 fields on it. Did you know that? I did not know that. Yeah, Richard, I do. Yeah, but no, I like that map. Yeah, Richard, I do have a smoke detector. And that's what I don't get. It's got a low battery, but I got all of my smoke detectors wired in straight to the electricity, too. So if a battery goes dead, it shouldn't beep. And so, but it still beeps. So I guess you have to not only have the batteries in them, but, you know, I figured wiring them, because, you know, that's been my biggest problem, is always having one beep when the batteries went dead. So I got some new good fancy ones and was like, all right, here's what I want to do. I want to get them wired straight into the electricity. That way I ain't got to worry about anything like that. Well, guess what, Richard? They still beep even though they're wired up to your electricity. But yeah, that's what it was. And I did have the game room door open, so that was a problem. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I guess that is true, you know, in case electricity goes out or something like that. At least I'll still have them, you know, because they're the smoke detectors, the carbon monoxide. They do all that stuff and everything like that. I've got 4 of them installed, and yeah, that one just started going dead, I want to say about a week ago. And so, but yeah, I do need to take care of that for sure. We're going to plant some corn to harvest. Oh, I'm sorry. As I'll actually do that today, Richard. I give you my word. I will do that today. As soon as baby lunatic gets here, I will let her chase some batteries, and then I can get that done today. Cause yeah, it bothers me, and I just finally stopped paying attention to it, and so I'm good at ignoring it. You think it's yours? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I can see where that comes from. And it does stick out like a sore thumb anytime, you know, you're in any kind of, I know every time I play with somebody or whatever, and I'm in, you can, if they got one going, you can hear it. Like I said, it does stick out, but like I said, I will take care of that. I'm glad you said something too, because like I said, I have like mastered the skill of ignoring certain stuff. If I don't want to pay attention to it, I don't, and that's been it. But I didn't ever factor in the fact of what would happen if my electricity went out and that battery backup wasn't in there because I let it be dead like it is for so long. So you checked it twice. I'm sorry, but no, it is mine for sure, Richard. It is mine for sure. And it usually only does that for like a couple of minutes, and then it'll stop just to remind you every day that it's dying. And like I said, it's been that way for a week, but usually it'll only hit every now and then. But I promise you, it is mine. Like it is the one in the living room area. And that's why I'm really shocked that you heard it, because it's way down, which I did have the game room door open. And I don't know if you've heard it in previous streams and all that good stuff, like I said, so. But it is mine, so you don't have to rush in and check yours now. Yep, there it went again. And for some reason it's beeping. I guess it's really going dead because it's beeping a lot more today. Usually it'll give you a few warning beeps, and then it'll stop, and then maybe mid-afternoon or, you know, later on towards the night it'll do a few beeps again. And so I guess the lower the battery gets, the worse it gets as far as like trying to warn me about it. But I don't have any 9-volt batteries in-house at the moment. They were all put into the smoke detectors. Yeah, and the crazy thing is too, Richard, like I was getting tired of the crackling and all kinds of stuff like that, so I even purchased a windsock for the mic to try to hope it toned down some of the background noise and made some stuff clear. But like I said, I can hear it. And now that you mentioned it, I keep listening to it now. And so, but it is annoying, like I said, but I will have that taken care of. That way we don't have everybody checking their smoke detectors whenever it's going off in stream. Corn prices are going up, countryman, so I'm planting some corn right now, but to harvest, not to chop. I might still chop over there on field 4, but for right now I'm just going to plant to harvest. We got some alright money in, so I should be able to lease another harvester. That way I can run 2 harvesters on it. So that'll help being able to harvest it and knock it out a lot quicker. I can always run a truck and an auger wagon to one and a truck and just a truck to another one for these smaller fields. But corn it is. Like I said, corn prices are going up, and I'm going to try to plant, you know, a little bit of everything. That way it takes, we'll have some stuff in silos just in case some good prices hit in between or whatever. Richard, we have not figured that out. I know the way I do it to try to skip through pretty quick is, of course, this planter doesn't have a fertilization option, but a planter with that option is stage 1. I run a weeder for first stage of growth, and then that's step 2, and then whenever it comes up, which of course I run crop destruction. I don't know if you do. Whenever it comes up, then I run a sprayer usually on it after it comes up past a certain level where you can't run the weeder. But that's how I do it. As I count the planting as 1, I do the weeder, and then I'll do the spray on application for my 3rd one. And it's really not as, it's still time consuming, you know, like, because you got to catch them in between their growth and make sure you catch them so you can run the weeder, or you'll end up skipping one part, you know, like so. But as far as 3-stage, and you know, some of my other guys do it different. You know, we have planted oilseed radish, and we'll plow in that oilseed radish and run oilseed radish, and then only have to weed a crop or spray it after, or, you know, plant oilseed radish, cultivate it in. But like I said, that's time consuming too. You know, like, you got to plant it, then you got to cultivate it, then you got to come back and plant with a planter with a fertilizing option, and then all you have to do is run a weeder for that 3rd stage. But there's, you know, different ways, but like I said, that's the way that I was doing it when I was playing by myself. Was I would plant, like I said, with the fertilization option planter, weeder, and then spray. And that's, like I said, as far as it went for me, that was the most efficient and fastest way I had found for me that worked out, especially, you know, being a solo farmer like how you do it and all that. I didn't know there was a roller mod to do that. After I spray once, then can you cultivate and spray again? I don't think so. We figured out that, like, if you spray, then you cultivate, it erases that when it's on 3-stage. And so, but that's why I'll run the no-till option fertilizer planter, because sometimes you can spray, and then if you run that no-till option fertilizer, it'll count as 2 right there. Spread manure, cultivate, sow it with fert, and spray on first growth. Okay, and see, golf cart jockey right there with some Morgan. Like I said, I've never really messed with manure because I don't like buying it or having to put a placeable, and I didn't do livestock. We're just now getting into livestock, so yeah, and especially since manure's free whenever you're producing your own. And I did not know, and it don't erase that. It don't count as an erase whenever you plow that in, golf cart over there on the manure. Because I know it, I'm pretty sure it does whenever we did it with this regular sprayer application. Yes, Sasquatch, we finally got out of leasing a bunch of stuff. We're starting to be able to own everything now. And I returned everything else that we did have leased. But we did I want to say 1 million liters of silage, and then got to sell off some good stuff. That's what Countryman did to get rid of all the puddles. No, sir. Awesome, golf cart. Thank you. That'll help us out being more efficient. Like I said, now that we got livestock going, and I need to clean up after them. Huh? I guess not. I don't know. Like I guess trying to clean it up to make it. He said he was to make it look better or whatever, so he did all that. That's the way it is. Speaking of livestock, I need to go check on them too here in a second. I'm pretty sure they need some cleaning and probably need some water and stuff like that. I haven't sped up the clock or anything since we got them, but having 30, they tend to work a little bit faster than I can keep up. And so you don't have to sell off. I don't know. I think we still got quite a bit of grass bells over there for the sheep. I got the placeable pig from silo. You can go ahead and sell them, and then let me know when you get down to your last like load or whenever you're done mowing. You know what I mean? And we'll at least save one load, so you can put up your first load if you want to, or but just be sure you save one full load of them. Is that with the planter with the teal option on it, Richard? Like, so is that what you do instead of having to cultivate it up? Just run. At the time that we did the oilseed radish, we didn't have a no-till planter. We just had these regular planters. But yeah, that's something else to try. I didn't know that. Like I said, if I could run that teal option planter over oilseed radish, then it would kind of be worth doing the oilseed radish and stuff like that. But I like how Golf Cart said, because, you know, I know we did a spray-on application and cultivated it in, and it deleted it. It didn't show up as like it was fertilized. And so we were like, what the crap? But manure, I mean, literally, what the crap? The manure, I guess, is supposed to... But, I mean, it does make sense. It would be something thicker in it, something that you're really supposed... But I thought, you know, some farmers, you know, where I came from with cotton farming, we would spray on an application and cultivate that into the ground. And so, you know, but I don't know if they followed that swing of things. That. Okay, yeah, you can see where we already have some sitting out there in the middle of the sheep pen. Just drop it somewhere right there, and that'll make sure the little sheepy got what they need. Okay, awesome, Richard. And you know, I kind of thought about it that way when we did oilseed radish, instead of us cultivating it in. But we cultivated it in, like I said, and then ran the fertilizer out. But yeah, with the a planter that has a cultivating option, plus it has, you know, the option to fertilize, like, I wouldn't see why that would double up right there. And then your last stage is either first stage growth weeder, or, you know, you can spray, maybe spread slurry, something like that. But yeah, that right there is actually a great idea, Richard, on a faster turnaround with the oilseed radish, which you still got to go back and plant oilseed radish. And so either way, you got to juggle the time thing on whatever. But like I said, if I do oilseed radish again, that's the way I'm going to do it, is with the no-till option, or the till option planter and fertilizer right there, like I said, because that would be awesome. At least kill two of them real quick. And like I said, I'm a firm believer in weeders, because I don't know why. I just like running weeders. You can run those pretty quick. And then now we have, you know, Golf Cart with him with the manure, and then doesn't count as a delete whenever you plow it in. That's awesome. So that means you can hit the manure and then have a plant or two with the cultivating option and fertilization option, and that's two right off the bat. Okay, awesome. Don't even need it to grow before. Okay, cool. How to what? There's a gate right there at the sheep pen that you can go through. It's like the gate where you bring them in whenever you bring them in. Okay, awesome, Golf Cart. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, especially since South Mountain Creamery we're doing in seasons. Cowboy's going to be running that map over there, so we'll be over there for seasons. That's really going to help us out with seasons. This other stuff right here with the 3 steps, a lot easier since I ain't got to wait on weather or anything like that. But like I said, any bit of input that we got, and Richard has tested the oilseed radish one, and it doesn't have to grow before you plant, and it's 2 stages. So like I said. Which one? He did tell me something about the oilseed radish, but for some reason he didn't really care too much about it. But maybe he figured out something different. Did you find the gate though over there to get in there? Okay, yeah. You know, it's crazy because most of the time you can't open them, you know what I mean? They're just there like for looks. And so yeah, but it took me for a while to figure out how Cowboy got those bells in there. We were like, how did he get them in there? There's no way, you know, like I say, you can like kick them over to the side on that auto loader trailer. And there's no way to kick them all the way over there to the side that way. And so, but no, it was the gate. Oh yeah, no, I saw that. And you know, was it digestate or was it actual just fertilizer? No, he can't either, so it was digestate. But yeah, he had the sell point come up. Like I said, it was great demand last night. That's what and he got, was it Sussex Farm he was playing? It's at the Garden Center. Yeah, I mean, remember he went back because he asked me, and I did see a great demand come up. I told him I didn't know since I was sitting there trying to go through all the chats and, you know, spamming whatever I was spamming there in his messages or in the chat. And so he went back and actually looked at his stream and found what it was, and then, you know, loaded up a tank and went over there, and I want to say an hour and a half, maybe at least an hour of that was spent trying to find out where it was at. So, which he said, you know, the great demands aren't, what was it? I think, yeah, it was Sussex Farm because it was an alien gym map. I know that much. I'm going to have to get a hold of a gym and what do you mean? How did that change? I honestly don't know. It reset it to the main farm? What'd you have to reset? Okay, but it put it to the main farm. I know he did, didn't he, Richard? I think that's the only reason why he ended the stream. I think he was, but he did good. He held his composure. He didn't get too angry, but you could tell he was getting angry. You could tell that. I was getting angry because I knew, like, it's right there. We stood. No, it's not right there. I'm looking, and so, like I said, I don't know where it was at. I haven't even loaded in the map today to see if it was something that we was overlooking. Maybe it was just too late or something like that. I don't know, but no. I mean, all of us were watching the stream, and then, like I said, he went over everything and went and backtracked. So, and then Gunkert said he couldn't find it either. Just like not being able to turn the traffic off on South Mountain Creamery. You cannot turn traffic off on that. You can turn it off in your settings, but it does not go off. But as I was talking to Big Daddy about that, we don't think it's a glitch or anything like that. We think that it's a Black Sheep's way of making sure his milk trucks keep going around there, so you see the milk trucks that he's got on the map. And so we went through there and debunked a bunch of stuff, me and Big Daddy, the other day on all these maps. What maps that you can load into that actually have some stuff that's already placed out there to where you can make some money already by some placeables or something that was already in game. All we found was one, what was it, a solar panel, and then yeah, everything else. Like I said, that's what we're trying to figure out is the easiest way to make money, and I'm trying to make sure that he, like me, we stay away from cheat boxes. I tell him, you know, you gotta stay away from the green moons, man. They're bad for you. And so that's part of the collaboration between me and Big Daddy is to try to, you know, y'all see we pull big numbers like we did on Lone Oak and everything like that, and let them know, you know, it's not cheating when you play the system in the game itself. You know what I mean? Like. And I know how some people say that money cheat boxes aren't cheating, that they give them to you as a mod, but you know, if it's got the word cheat in it, it's a cheat. Yeah, I had the same problem with that, Richard, and also I had a problem with it not wanting to offload it. Any like what was it that I tried to offload? The liquid manure or whatever. It would not trigger an offload for me. Like, and I was at the right place. I even put a placeable trading point for slurry and everything, and tried to go ahead and do it that way, and then made sure I had the right liquid in it. I honestly got so frustrated with it that I just sold it even though it was full. Like, so I took two hits. The hit that I lost with everything that was in it, because I don't think you get that money back if you're full of seed or fertilizer or anything in any of the equipment you got. It's gone. Is 13 still yielding good though, even though it looks like I spray painted the grass on there? Okay, that's good. Yeah, the multi-purpose storages like we got. Let me get out of the tree over there. Uh, they can hold seed and stuff like that. And for the what I didn't have modded in at the time was the liquid storage pack, like or the liquid storage, placeable. That liquid storage placeable, I could have dumped, offloaded it there, and then just got a slurry spreader or something to spread the digestate and used it that way. But I didn't have the liquid storage placeable at that time, and I do run it now. We don't have one up now, but like I said, it was one of them little mistakes we had to live and learn from, by doing it that way and everything. But yeah, we lived and learned on that deal. And so, but yeah, that's why I'm a firm believer in the liquid storage placeable, which mainly with fertilizations, which now that we got the livestock and stuff going and everything like that, I do a lot of spray on applications. Not just because I really like it, it's because the Big Brute sprayer is cheap to lease and it's also cheap to buy. It is though. It takes up a lot of space, but like I said, it would have saved me from having to. I forgot how much that Garrett tank took to fill up, like what it, and it wasn't free because I didn't have digestate of my own. I had bought it from a placeable, and thought that I could buy it from the placeable because you can buy it a little bit cheaper, and then I thought I could turn around and sell it, and then no. And so the only way I wouldn't have took a loss is we would have been producing our own, but at that time we weren't. We were just testing out some stuff, and that's when I found out. And so now, yeah, I can get it all for free because the silage that we put out and everything like that. Yep. No, just this one. No, this is the only one we got right now. You want me to lease another one? Okay, yeah, no, you could kick it off over there on 11. I'm pretty sure that he was almost done, or the hired help was almost done plowing that up. Yeah, no, it won't hold the liquid. You have to have the forage and chips silo to hold chaff and stuff like that. Or that placeable, the forage and chips silo one, that'll hold those multi-grain storages. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you real quick. We'll pull one up and look at it just to make sure. But let me see. I think both of those hold pig food if I'm not mistaken. You see with the forage and chip silos, it'll hold it's for wood chips, grass, hay, straw, silage, chaff, and forage. Which forage, I guess it's chaff before you turn it in. You know what I mean? And so that's what the forage and chip silos hold. is the wood chips, grass, hay, straw, and silage. And then of course your liquid pack. That's what I say: liquid manure, digestate, fuel, liquid fertilizer, and all of that stuff. Um, See, yeah, both multi storage variants, they hold the pig food. That is one of them for sure. It's grass, dry grass, potato, sugar beets, wood chips, straw, forage, sugar cane, pig food, seeds, and fertilizer with the capacity of 800,000 liters. And this multi storage over here holds your wheat, barley, rape, sunflower, soybean, sugar cane, pig food. So both of them hold pig food, seeds, and forage and fertilizer on the option for the chrome or the gold, whatever, copper one. Yep.
I'm sorry, I gotta go.
All right, man. But yeah, I don't know if you got to saw, but yeah, those multi-purpose storages over there, they do hold pig food. And like I said, I'm pretty sure those were the only ones that hold the pig food. Let me make sure one more time. Yeah, because these don't hold pig food. They're mainly for, which that's got the ramp. You know, it's big bulky. That one's got the little point where you can dump right there in front of it. And like I said, those both hold pig food. Reason why we're running the copper colored ones is because we're doing more crops. We're harvesting our crops and stuff like that now, and so that's why we're running the two copper ones over there instead of having one of each, because our silage and our grass and everything like that. I mean, we're keeping a load of grass bales every time we're doing the baling. That way we can have some for the sheep. Like I said, we're not messing with cattle or anything right now just yet. We're pretty bummed out that the big mixer wagon did not work for us. And so I got rid of the cows and just split the numbers between the sheep and the pigs. And so we have 30 sheep and 30 pigs. Which reminds me, I need to tend to them because I'm pretty sure they made a mess. Oh yeah, I forget this is a cow. No moves. We got no moves. Move, chickens, move. Yeah, they do eat, don't they? They do eat. And I'm beginning to realize that unless you got an abundance of them, which costs you more money too, they really don't produce that much. Like, well, they do when you get to a certain rate, but like I said, I'll have to see when we sell our first few loads after they start doing their thing if they're going to be worth hassling with. And they make such a big mess. Look at that. Golly, they make a big mess. See the money going down when you buy the pig food this way. It is cheaper to go ahead and just feed them corn and stuff like that you see that's what they throw out anyways over there is pretty much corn. And so but we're selling most of our grain that we get, and so that's why I'm not just giving them my corn and stuff just yet. Yeah, you got to have hundreds of them. That's the thing. Like I said, the more you have, that's really where you kind of start seeing something come back from them. But then again, the more you have, that's where you also got to pay more to to keep them going. And like I said, messy. Golly, these guys are messy. Got it now. You better eat it, or I just made a mess. Oh yeah, yeah. The cows are good poopers. They do produce a lot. Really, the only problem I have with that is I have not honed my mixing skills down yet on mixing them the right, the power food, whatever. I'm terrible at that, and so that's the real reason why I haven't messed with cows. I guess they're still doing good on food. So we've got plenty of bales for them to have over there. I'm sure they're going to need some water in a second. Ah, see, okay. That's where I messed up. I want to say I did, I tried it the other day to help the guys out with the cattle when we were on Lone Oak, and I did it terrible, but I think I went like uh, 2 bales of straw, and I hadn't even got to the silage yet, and put the hay in there, and then that's when I finally put silage in it. And you know how it shows your mix ratio, it was all knocked off kilter, and so, yeah, luckily that was towards the end of Lone Oak, so I just went ahead and sold off all the cattle and all that. But no, now I know 2 bales of silage, 1 straw, and 1 hay bale, and that's a perfect mixed rations, right? That is awesome. And so that's why the only reason why I do run sheep and pig, sheep simple, that's just the grass with them, and then the pigs, like I said, with the placeable pig food silo. It is cheaper to get rid of your grain instead of doing that, you know what I mean, with the placeable pig food silo, but it's just, if it was a corner I could cut for that time being, that's what I did. Now I need to get rid of that straw blower since we don't have no. And see, that's the one that we tried to use. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you real quick. Let me look at it. Animals. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, this is the one, the pecan. But we couldn't get it to mix for us, Richard. Here on this map, at least. I don't know why. Me and another guy tried it. Several of us tried to get it to work. We could not get it to mix for some reason. Had the adequate power for tractors. Switched tractors around too to make sure. Leased an even bigger tractor to try it out. We tried everything and couldn't get that thing to mix for us. Because that was the only reason why we went ahead and went with cows. Because I mean, with that 64,000 liters, like you don't have to worry about messing with them that much. You have to arrow. Yeah, see, that's what I figured, and that's where I messed up. Because I know I had I actually had a few of them in the red, and so that's why I told you, I had to apologize to the guys and let them know, hey, at least I tried right there. But now I know will run the smaller mixer because, like I said, I lost faith in the big mixer, at least here. Like I said, it could just be here. Is what I'm hoping. I know Cowboys used it and uses it on and he's going to use it on South Mountain Creamery. And so I'm hoping that helps out. But That's the only reason why I'm not running it here, was because it would not mix. And like I said, we tried different guys trying it out, different tractors. I saved and then, you know, seeing if that might help. All kinds of different stuff to see if I can get it to work, and it would not work out for us. See, that one would be easier for me to run if it did work out. Like I said, I'm hoping I'll get it figured out on South Mountain Creamery. I already know, now that you said for the smaller one, on the mix for that, like I said, that's going to help me out tenfold. Oof, but I know for sure we just couldn't get it to mix on here. And it was kind of a bummer, because like I said, we had purchased the cows before we tried to go ahead and mix anything, and to have it not work was kind of a bummer, because a lot of my guys speak highly on it. Like I said, I've never used it. We didn't use that even for Lone Oak. Kenneth had chose to use the Silage King or whatever that is. Yeah, Richard, that's what I plan on doing, especially since I had problems with learning how to mix it. Like, I'm going to be able to practice with it and get it down, and I will store it, that's for sure. Sheepies have plenty of hay. As a matter of fact, I think too much hay. I might have to hop some of these back on here. No, 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 no. I need them back here. Coming back here. Over. And see, Cowboy right there, he's going to be my teacher too when it comes, like I said, but just knowing that the actual, I've never really asked the guys or anything, and so I will be honing that. And Richard with the math. Go. I personally, for this one, will probably be running that smaller mixer, unless, like I said, if the guys come on and can maybe get it figured out, maybe it'll fire off and actually work for us. And so, but yeah, and in anything we have left, like I said, it's good to store it, or even mix some on bulk while we have the bells around, and store it. 5,000 right there, just off all those grass bells. Set at 1,080 apiece. Oh, but you know, Richard, that it won't be that way for long. You know somebody's going to come out with something that's modded in. I don't know how soon that mods won't be making it to 19, but I'm sure it won't take them long. Giants claims there was no mods in review for 19 at the time, and I believe I checked that at the beginning of this week or something. Yeah, bells 4,000 liters. Yep, the in-game bells for sure here are 4,000 liters. So that's 4, 8, 16, and they give you a 17-liter thing. Okay, I see why that's puzzling over there. Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. They might have messed up on their math a little bit, Richard. They might have been getting tired after cramming the game out or something. And you know, I figured out that the all this auto bell equipment and even the in-game stackers that they already have and all that, they only will pick up the 4,000 liter bells. There are some modded bailers and stuff like that that you can increase the literage of the bells, and anything over 4,000 liters, those none of this equipment works on those. And so I don't know if you've tried that out, but yeah. So some of these modded bellers that you can adjust the size or whatever of your bell, you're strictly stuck to picking it up with forks. Even the auto load fork doesn't work for them. And so they got it pretty much honed down to 4,000 liters here in game for sure. Yeah, I have noticed that. We did test that theory the other day. I don't think we did it live, but to where we sold 4,000 liters, just 4,000 liters of silage loose as we use the blowers, snow blowers to pick it up, and then did that compared to one round silage bell, 4,000 liters, and you get way more money for your actual bells than you do just picking it up out of the field and whatnot. And so, yeah, that there is a big difference in the loose compared to actually having bales made up that you're selling. And so that's something we did find out. Same thing with the grass. I did try to pick up some grass to see what was up with it. And like I said, same thing. Same thing. Great demand for wool, huh? I don't think I had very much over there. Where's my truck? Oh, it really does. It really does, Richard. And that's, we figured out it was worth it all the way up till we got to hay. Because, you know, you had to run the tender and stuff on it. Then you have to go back and bale it. And all they paid out for hay bales here was $1,152. And with these grass bales, we're running the mower with the baler right on the back of it, with a chrome mower with the baler right on the back of it, in that quad stack. And at $1,080 a bale, the work we put in to make the hay to sell, it literally doesn't. We put in more work to make the hay bales to sell for only getting, you know, pretty much $70 more. And then in grass bales, we can just run that mower all day long and crap out bales, and then as we crap them out, turn around and sell them. Like I said, we're only keeping the ones that we're keeping for the sheep and stuff like that, since they just eat grass. But most of our money is coming off of actual grass bales here on this map, and that is selling them. Like I said, as they come in, we sell them. Like except for what you see, I got stacked out over there. I ain't got enough wool to even worry about. So. Keep your great demand, Mr. Wool Place. We ain't got adequate wool supply yet. And you see, I placed my forage and chip silos back there because, like I said, that's where I was storing a lot of it. You know, going to be storing a lot of it. That way I can just get some grass from right here and then go dump it over there to the little sheepy. And so that's why I placed that one right there. Pull my truck around right underneath it, fill it up my tipper, and then go feed the sheep. There wasn't a good place to put it closer to the sheep, so a little bit of a drive, that's it. Yeah, like Cowboy said, that's why we do grass bales more than we do the hay bales, because like I said, for the work we put into the hay bales here to sell them, only getting $70 more, it was faster for that. Prefer loose? Yeah. Well, for feeding and everything like that, running the loose is actually more efficient than having to bale it up all the time. Had baby Sasquatch here with us. He had to go, so pretty much it's back to solo farming. Oh, you weren't done yet, Mr. Man. You said you was done. You lied to me, Mr. Hired Worker. You're fired. Oh yeah, I'm just saying. We're going to be able to, like I said, I got a pretty good little setup here. We're going to need to run some conveyor belts for sure here before long, or at least try a little setup, something small that we can have going. Yeah, I don't use bale shredders. I really don't mess with those. I do use auger wagons. Yeah, sometimes it don't make sense because we do have trucks, but if we're running multiple different things at one time, it's easier for us just to park a truck out at the edge of the field and then run an auger wagon out to them. That way there's always something there to, you know, trail around my harvester, and so we ain't got to worry about it sitting still at all. And we run the big bud pack, the Brent is what we run. guy all finished up here, and all of our plowing will be completed. DJ Go Ham is live. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff, Richard, that I've never really ran through. Pretty much what you see us run, like I said, we're running almost some of the same stuff we was running on Mono. We've even cleaned out our mods a lot. Like I said, I'll be getting a detailed mod list of what we run. One of our players, Nobody's Left, he can make a very detailed list that not only says what mods we run, but it says where you can find them. And but every mod we have in now, we use, like we will use at some point, especially when we get the money in to, you know, do all that stuff. But yeah, we use pretty much everything that we have modded in. We're going to use it at some point in time. And so that's the only reason. But like I said, it's not a whole lot of mods, believe it or not. Like it's very few. Just some of the bigger stuff, like I said, and then the DLC. The Big Bud Pack, of course, I like the 450, and I like, of course, these implements. Like, the implements help us knock down some time and all that, because they're big, especially with the 24-meter cultivator. And then the Coon Pack, like, we're going to eventually be running that. That way we can do square silage bells instead of having to have round beller and everything like that, because I don't really like the round beller. You gotta stop it and all that to get rid of the round bell and everything like that. So with the square bells, we'll be able to roll up to a 4-stack. And then just sit there and take our time wrapping, you know, however many we need to wrap with that square silage bell wrapper. Because I was told there was a square silage bell wrapper in the mods, and so you didn't have to have the Coon Pack, but we have ran through and tested every bell wrapping mod there is, and they're all set up for round bells. And I mean, either way you go, it's round bell or square bell, it's 4,000 liter bell, you know what I mean? And so if we're going to put in the work to be wrapping the bells, we're going to wrap square bells, since we can put out a lot more with, you know, with less time. Cowboy does love his 850. Yeah, if we're moving, especially if you got that 70,000 liter tipper and you're moving pretty quick, it's a little bit more stable when you run the third axle down. Is it down or up? One of the two. I know I run it down and up sometimes. It all depends on the load. But just smaller to get in some of these harder to reach places with that rear turning. The man trucks are alright. I'm just now getting to like the man Joskin and the man pack. But for some of the bigger stuff that we run, we got to have a little bit more power because of other trucks, you know, and we want to move pretty quick when we're going back and forth. And so I do have the 950 Legend modded in too, but I don't run the 950 near as much as I do the 850. I fell in love with the 850. And then with the man trucks, I run the man Joskin. That's mainly our silage truck, and we can still do some chasing with it if we need to or whatnot. But like in this game, I really think anything over 50 miles an hour is too fast. This game's not meant to have, you know, fast stuff. It's meant to, you know, tractors. JCB, I guess, you know, is the fastest tractor I really know of with the, what is it, 42 miles an hour or whatever. And even that for a tractor, you know, is pretty fast. The tractors that I used to run in real life, I want to say they top out at about 36 35, you know, about in-town speed in my area I was at is pretty much where they would top out at. And even that in a real tractor is too fast, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, turns and all that stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do, Richard, is that's why I do it. With running this no fertilization option, I'm going to be hopping in the big brood in a second, and I'm going to knock out all the fields with spray. And then probably the first stage, since this is core, and when it comes up, I'll run a weeder. And then, like I said, beforehand, after we plowed, usually, like I said, I should have tried the manure thing, but I didn't do the manure thing just yet, but I will on the next one. So we're skipping a stage, so it's not going to be a complete yield. But I'm just trying to get some stuff in the silos for the time being. But I am going to try golf cart's manure thing, and I'm going to do the oilseed radish thing that you was talking about. Because if that's the case, I can be laying down. Let me see. Does this have oilseed radish option? Yes. Okay. I can be laying down oilseed radish with this, and have one of my seed hawks that I can lease out a seed hawk, have it running right behind me planting, you know, whatever else. It's a fertilization option, and it's a no-till, or I mean, it tills, so you don't have to worry about that. And so I am going to try that out. That's what I'd like to try out first and foremost, you know what I mean? Because having this running and then that seed hawk right behind it and planting in, you know, canola, wheat, whatever we're going to run right there at that time, that'll kill them stages real quick. And then when the first stage comes, I can just run a weeder through there, or spray, either one for my last stage. And so, yeah, I will be removing trees, but mainly for wood chips. I honestly don't think we're gonna expand the fields or make them any bigger. You know, like we might. There's a couple on here that are gonna be pretty good to blend together. But as far as expanding, like with the borders and all that go, we found out with lone oak that when you expand past the border, besides blending a field, you know, combining two fields, it really throws your hired help off, even removing the trees and everything like that. Like, they are used to a border, and so if you can keep the border close to where it's at, they don't goof off as much. And so that's why we're gonna have feel around and see what we're gonna do as far as expanding or blending fields together. That's why we haven't jumped on that just yet. You know, I got the plow for it. I just have not jumped on it yet because, like I said, I want to make sure. And I removed all the trees. There was a line of trees that were right here, but like I said, they would get in the way and all that good stuff. And so I removed the trees, and even the computer still registers the tree still being there. They'll try to stop. You know, they're just, I guess it took a pass or two for them to get used to, oh, there ain't no more trees here. Okay, cool. So I'll throw him to work. Hop in my most favorite sprayer in the whole wide world, and it's the fastest sprayer on the game, and then and it's the cheapest, is why I run the big brute sprayer, not only to lease but to buy. Like, we now own this one, and like I said, only $100,000, pretty much a little over 100,000. It pays for itself pretty much. Like it cuts down. And then that and other sprayers, like I said, I understand the boom's not as wide as I would like it to be, but it is still a pretty good boom reach for it. But I'm going again cheap, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's like, you're so cheap. It's like, well, yeah, you know, like, the less I'm spending, especially since when you take the time to find the nuggets, I don't know if you find the nuggets and stuff, Richard, on your farms, or if you just start grinding them out straight off the bat, you know, from your loan and what you got. But anytime I take the time to find the nuggets for us or whatever, I'm going to make sure we minimize spinning costs, running costs, and all that stuff as much as possible, while still being able to, you know, yield good crops and everything. Yeah, I have that mod in too, not on this particular game. They got big boom, and what I like about those, Richard, is you can adjust the pitch to the left and right. You know, when I ran a real sprayer when I did cotton, you could move around. When we'd go, you can, which they don't have the option on the lizard, but you could turn off one side of your boom or each individual nozzle, so you weren't spraying over what you've already sprayed. And they got real close to those mechanics with that lizard pack, because you can move the boom up and down, like left. Raise your right side, raise your left side, and that helps with unlevel ground. And so they got real close to the real aspect of it, and I like that. I'm kind of hoping on 19 that they have an option for you to be able to turn one side off. So and I know it don't count, whenever you're respraying over something that's already been fertilized. But we've had some issues like with it still, you're still using extra fertilizer whenever it's not needed in spots. Yeah, no, like I said, that in real life, when I ran a sprayer, you could turn off, you could turn off a full side if you needed to turn off a full side, or you could turn off like a single nozzle. You see all the different spray nozzles on the back. You could turn off so many nozzles on the real sprayers that I ran. And like I said, they got close to that with Lizard by making the boom adjustable. We run, like I said, if you run, I don't know if you know this when you're spraying, if it's good level ground, you got to watch a little bit, whatever. If you run your boom as close to the ground as possible, you don't use as much spray fertilizer too. I don't know if you've known that, but you can try it out and see on. But same field you want to run, if you're going to test it, like I could run this same field with my boom all the way up, and I'm going to have to probably fill up, or I'm going to use way more than I'm using right now. But with your boom all the way down, you don't use as much, and that's also a real life factor that that we account whenever we're really spraying with our real sprayers, is the closer the boom is to the ground. And there's certain times, like if we got to go by wind and everything. Here the game doesn't have wind factors and all kinds of stuff like that, but yeah, with the real sprayers that we run, you can turn off nozzles, you can turn off whole sides of your boom, but you can't do that on any of the sprayers that they have in game. When you turn them on, it's all or nothing. But running your boom lower to the ground, it actually, you use less fertilizer. But no, like I said, on those you cannot turn off no booms or nothing. I said I wish they would add that. It would be super cool. And also, like I said, because some of the stuff, when you got like a couple of last passes you got to make on your fields, you got to respray kind of over some stuff you've already sprayed. And so if they gave us that option to be able to turn off one side, so we're only spraying what needs to be sprayed instead of, going over. Because as you see, I'm over already sprayed ground, and you can see that, it doesn't stop my flow. It's still going to waste. I can sit here, especially if I sit here and park back over anything I've already sprayed, it's still going to let me run out all my fertilizer and not do nothing for it. And so the option to be able to like turn that off, or a side off whenever you're going over, would be an awesome option. I've been pushing for that option, and I've actually sent in a good little essay talking about it. And it was something that they took in and said that, hey, interesting facts, to know that, any kind of, they like real-time input, not only from players, but from actual farmers. They can kind of give them a little bit more input, and so that's why I went and came at them with the whole sprayer idea. Because, with them having the lizards and them being able to move the booms around like they can, to work yourself around different kind of low spots and everything, a shut-off feature for rider side boom should be something. I understand if they can't do individual nozzles, but what I had brought up was this to give us an option to shut off like your left side of your boom or your right side of your boom, so you're only spraying what needs to be sprayed. And so I'm sure they're not going to waste their time to do that on 17, but hopefully in 19 we're going to see a little bit more options when it comes to that. Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason. Like I said, I had sent in 2 memos to Giants when I was telling them about it. Even sent in a video of one of our sprayers that we ran and what I was talking about exactly. So and then they love the input. Of course, they might tell everybody that and say that they get into looking at that or have somebody look at that in the near future, which the near future is 19 now. I had sent that in. When was it? 4 months ago is when I sent that idea in. I was farming solo here on game, and I got so irritated because I liked one little section, And on that one little section, if I would have been able to turn off one side of my boom, I would have had enough fertilizer to be able to spray that little bitty section that I had left. But since both sides were running, it ran out my fertilizer even faster. And so he gave me the idea of like, hey, you know, in real life, this is what it does. And so I like I said, they always say they want feedback. And so that was the feedback that I sent them. I'm hoping, like I said, they can try to do something about that. I know I wanted to get somebody to try to get that idea out to Black Sheep or any of the modders that they have, to just give you the option to shut off one side of your boom. And then again, you know, I don't want it to be a ghost effect. Like, you know, I don't want it to where you can shut it off and you're still getting charged, or it's still going to be using the same literage as it would if you were running the whole boom. Oh wow, really? Golly. That's almost like spraying your fields with like a 737 or something like that. We're talking industrial size right there. And see, the thing I like about, you know, which, yeah, that's the same way it is with plowing and everything like that. They have a, when we're really plowing in real life and we're really spraying and stuff like that, we do run a lot at 9 miles an hour. I want to say 10 and 11, depending on how big of an implement we're pulling, but our sprayers really do run at 9. On, of course, during high winds and everything, we don't run sprayers because of cross-contamination for other crops and, you know, next-door neighbors, etc. We do a lot of aerial spraying where we call the planes in and they spray the fields. But as far as, you know, our actual sprayers had went, it was just so much easier the way we had messed with them with being able to cut out. Like I said, I had a good 10-15 minute video of my boss just running through the whole sprayer and everything like that and finding out all that good stuff, you know, and showing it. You know, we were running water through it. It wasn't actual chemical, because everybody was freaking out in the video thinking that I was standing there in actual chemical. But no, it was just water. We had already flushed the system several times, but we had to refill it with water to demonstrate what we wanted out of the game. And so that's real-time input from, you know, real-time farmers. You know, my boss was more than happy to go ahead and demonstrate that for them so they could get an idea. And like I said, and I understand not being able to do individual nozzles, but at least the side of your boom. Yeah, and I see that. So we're going to get to go back old school, Richard, now, right? Where we actually get to haul our own milk to sell. Because if so, that's really cool. Like, it's kind of a bummer that they took that away. At least you'll know exactly what you're getting for your milk. Running, like I said, I'm hoping that they're gonna shell out some good stuff. I know a lot of these modders should be chomping at the bit to want to throw some stuff out, and so I can't wait to see what that may or may not be. Like I said, I'm hoping it's gonna be some good stuff. I'm still waiting to see what all they really have in game. See, that's a good question. You know, is that gonna be? Is it gonna be the same thing as crops? I've heard that they fixed the mechanics too, to where, you know how we did the big sales with the conveyor belt system over the sell point. They're going to fix that to where we're not going to be able to offload 2 million liters. It's going to have like a shutoff, is what I'm hearing. And so I guess they're figuring out it might be our fault for sharing out how we're making our money, but you know. But I guess that's a part of the game that they want, is to where you're losing money after so many loads, to where you got to sit there and wait on the price. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try that out with milk too, you know, or, you know, maybe the dairy will only pay you so much for, you know, so many loads, and then it'll start dropping just like our crops do, and which is going to be crap, like I said. But we'll figure out different ways around different stuff. But I know our big sell-offs, like we were doing with the corn and the soybeans, that they might actually put a stop to that at 19. And so, but where there's a will, there's a way. We will for sure be figuring that out, and we will air that out to y'all for sure, so y'all can see that. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that's what he was doing. And like I said, I think that is awesome. You saw how Big Daddy was doing the manure buy and sell point, running that to make money. Uh, I think it's awesome that these guys are running, double, triple dumps and everything like that and doing that. Like I said, I know he was live a while ago, and I think he was doing the same thing, but he did that the other day too. Like I said, you optimize money. You know what I mean? You optimize money on that, and it's not cheating. To me, it is not cheating. It's the system has that loophole in it, and you take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like with you with our mother bin idea, you saw how we ran with that. Yeah, no, I noticed he went live. I hadn't got to hop over there and check him out. I'm actually going to try to run mine down here in a second. Once I get done spraying all this stuff, move my sprayer over there, I'll end this stream because, like I said, I thought I had some guys coming into play, but some of them were still at work, and then one of them had to go, and so I always try to cater to any chance that I get for any of my guys to come in here and play. Like I want them to come in and play. But yeah, like I said, to me, it's not cheating. Yeah, go ahead. It said I'm going to spray this, and then I'll be, like I said, no problem with that. sprayed up. Hopping over to get me a refill and then head back over there to field 11. Number 11. And we need to get some more fields. Again, big shout out to everybody. Like I said, we have reached 61 subs. Thank y'all for that, all of you. That's I'm rocking the bottom rocker so y'all can see it loud and clear. 61. We had hit 60 last night, but I was pretty tired. Didn't get to do anything about it last night. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, thank all of you, everybody that tunes in, everybody that drops by to say hi. Getting close to the, past the hour and a half mark here. Gonna fill up the sprayer. Gonna be working field 11. Fire back up here after a while. We should have some corn going. Hoping. I'm gonna take the time to go play on the solo map for a little bit until I get everybody in and around. That way we can run at it with the crew. Got my door open? Oh, I thought I had my door open. Stop, golly. Stop. Big money dump was the Brobor money bin, I'm telling you. We're going to be back there, cowboy. We're going to be back there in no time. I left my dang dually down here parked in the way at field 11, and so this guy's been down here charging me for no reason. So I think this is going to be a pretty good little stopping point right here for the stream for now. I am going to go fire up Corral and play over there on Corral for a little bit until everybody gets in and around. Got to move my lizard dually out the way. I'm sorry, Mr. Man. Should have just ran through it. I got good insurance. There you go. There you go. Is it Mr. Man or is it Mr. Woman? Did I park that sprayer in the way too? Did I park that sprayer in the way too? Yep, bet I did. Oh no. I'll be. Mrs. Woman got it. Mrs. Woman got it. Yeah, so when we come back, we'll be spraying field 11. That Savage Gamer. Hello, that Savage Gamer. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know that in one of the little videos that I was watching on that yeah, we're gonna be hauling our own milk, and me and Richard were talking about. I wonder if it's gonna be just like, you know, with crops. You know, if the price is gonna go down after you run a couple of loads in or something like that. But yeah, we will be hauling our own milk in. But that Savage Gamer, hi, hello, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, hauling our own milk, that's going to be a for sure deal. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to charge you or cut down the price on it. I bet you know them, make it harder, more realistic. Yeah, it is going to be more realistic. That is for sure, Cowboy. And I'm not against it. You know, I'm not against it. Anything else that's starting to make it more realistic and everything like that, I'm totally game for. I am totally game for. Go ahead and hit me a save real quick. Prices are going up. Prices are going up. Some are flatline in the red, but hey, at least what we're getting in the ground is going up. Gonna let him do some planting, guys. Have this, or her, excuse me, that hired help over there do some planting. Probably be firing up again here in about an hour or so. Probably about 6 p.m. my time. It is 5:30 p.m. my time right now. So about 6:30ish, somewhere around there, maybe a little after. Gonna do a little bit more battle shacking, and then maybe tonight I'll be able to give you a little sneak peek. It's gonna be in the wee hours of the morning of South Mountain Creamery with Seasons. As I did say, be sure y'all sub to Necro666. Like I said, I'll be away this weekend. They're going to be doing some work, I'm sure, over there on South Mountain Creamery. I need to check that out. As soon as I get back, I'll be over there on it too. Like I said, I want to experience some good Seasons fun. Cowboy will be hosting that game over there, and so I'm hoping Necro will stream it for us. That way we can all watch it. You go sub over there, you'll find out when they go live. And as soon as I get back in and around, which might be Sunday afternoon, maybe early. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to leave Saturday. That's for sure. And if my wife doesn't drink, then yeah, but I don't think she will. So we might be coming home that Saturday night. And so yeah, but for sure Sunday I will be back around, and hopefully it will be on South Mountain Creamery. Pretty much got everything caught up here that we need to get caught up on. We'll have some corn to harvest when we come back. Again, thank everybody for the subs. Thank everybody that's been chiming in. Everybody that stopped by. If you like it, leave a like, as Big Daddy would say. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I guess it really don't matter. Like I said, just we'll keep it coming, and we'll hope to see y'all around. As always, all good things must come to an end, but there's always an hour and maybe 30 minutes away, and we'll be back at you some win, some way for sure. I'm gonna use this time to say see y'all later. Y'all have a great day, and we will catch y'all around. Lunatic out.